Live on DSTV channel 421, Go TV channel 125. This is Joy News Prime with me, Carlos Caloni. Our headlines this are: Organized labor to shut down the country as it declares a nationwide stoppage of government services following government clearance to the National Security, Social Security and National Insurance Trust to proceed with its controversial plan to offload a 60% stake in 4 hotels.
From Monday, 15th of July 2024, all workers in Ghana must not go to work until SSNIT publicly announces the termination of the process for the sale of its shares in the hotel.
Ghana Medical Association, Judicial Service, as well as public sector workers announced roadmap leading to the eventual collapse of the country. Also, minority blocks laying of Ewiya lithium mining agreement on a day the House struggled to raise the required number of MPs to form a quorum. And later will come your way with Prime Business.
Economist Professor Lord Mensan warns of a serious implication on government's projected revenue target for next year if organized labor goes ahead to embark on a definite strike on Monday, July 15.
You know, the agents within the economy are not moving. Government may be losing some excise tax, on daily basis. And if you quantify, the taxes that are directly and indirectly going to be lost, it's a huge one.
Thank you so much for choosing us. Now, all public sector workers must not go to work effective Monday, 15th of July, 2024. That's the directive from the umbrella body of all labor organizations, the Trades Union Congress of Ghana, which says it is disappointed in government insistence to proceed with its controversial plan to offload a 60% stake in 4 hotels to Minister of Agriculture Brian Champon's Rock City Hotel. On the 28th of June, NPRA put on hold the transaction of Social Security and National Insurance Trust, SSNIT, to pave way for further interrogation of the process. However, Minister of Employment, Labour Relations and Pensions, Ignatius Bafwewa, told Parliament last Thursday that the NPRA had cleared SSNIT to proceed with its controversial plan to sell 4 hotels to Brian Champon's Rock City Hotel, a reason for which Labour is laying down its tools. There's more in the following report.
A charged atmosphere as organized labor prepares to shut down government services across the country. As the mother agency of labor unions, TUC says it has one charge to keep: to halt the sale of 4 hotels by Social Security and National Insurance Trust, SSNIT, which includes this beachfront Labadi Beach Hotel located in Accra. North Tongue Member of Parliament Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa last month led a protest with a petition to President Akufo-Addo to halt the sale of these hotels to Minister for Agriculture Brian Champon's Rock City Hotel.
When Rock City last year was filing losses at the GRA, Labadi Beach Hotel, this hotel in front of us, made profit of 158 million Ghana cedis. Between Labadi Beach Hotel and Rock City, who should be buying who?
The National Pensions Regulatory Authority, NPRA, gave an earlier directive to SSNIT to suspend its controversial plan to offload 60% stake in 4 of these hotels to Brian Champon's Rock City Hotel. However, giving an update on the floor of Parliament, Minister for Employment, Labour Relations and Pensions, Ignatius Bafwewa, revealed that SSNIT has been cleared to proceed with this new transaction.
As a minister, I can tell you on authority that NPRA has since indicated that they had seen the processes and they think that SSNIT can go ahead.
The statement is already meeting the displeasure of public sector workers who now say that they will be withdrawing their services nationwide. Dr. Yauban is Secretary General of TUC.
Organized labor would like to reiterate its well-known position that the proposed sale of SSNIT shares in the 4 hotels is not in the best interest of Ghanaian workers. We therefore demand that SSNIT terminates the process immediately. From Monday, 15th of July 2024, all workers in Ghana must not go to work until SSNIT publicly announces the termination of the process for the sale of its shares in the hotels.
This industrial action is expected to have a far-reaching effect, as all public servants, including teachers, will not report to work next Monday.
You are talking about your future, okay? Even Jesus Christ says that I must work the works of he who sent me while it is day. So this is the day. A day is coming, you'll be 60 years old. You see how your body looks fresh. At age 60, you see whether it will be like this. So we are talking about age 60 and beyond.
One of the hotels was not doing very well, Labadi Beach. Our members on the board moved and pushed for a committee to be formed. The committee worked, came out with recommendations, and that is why Labadi is now making profits. We are saying that take the rest of the hotel through that process.
There are certain situations you need to take impromptu decisions, and that's the decision that we've taken. That come Monday, every worker must sit in the house, including our trotro drivers. No transport. We all sit in the house, we won't work.
Blessed Sugan's report for Joy News, Accra.
Already, this action has begun to bite hard as the Ghana Medical Association, Judicial Service, as well as public sector workers announced a roadmap leading to the eventual collapse of the country.
Intend to do. We've put our heads together, those of us who have been in this meeting, and we are setting out a roadmap so that it doesn't happen that we withdraw all services at a go. So it's going to be graduated, and we are going to make that announcement either by close of today or over the weekend. And we hope and pray that all our constituents will follow suit.
So if I go to the hospital on Monday, almost all services will be done?
Not all services will be available on Monday. It's very likely that OPD services will be out, but all other services will be running. And we are giving specific dates for the withdrawal of all other services. So we'll follow the roadmap.
Some say this is just because a hotel is being sold. How do you respond to, the arguments that looking at what's happening, the health sector?
It's not just about a hotel being sold. Look, SSNIT until 2010 had been the sole entity in charge of our pensions. With the pension reforms, we had other players like the private sector coming in with the second tier and the regulations for the third tier, which is voluntary. Now, SSNIT is still in charge of first tier pensions. And when I retire, my monthly pension is going to be paid by SSNIT with the current systems in place. Some of us even didn't know before this whole hula balloon that our monies that have been with SSNIT all these years have been used in building these hotels. We knew of their existence, but we did not know that they were owned by SSNIT. We know of some buildings or entities within Ghana that belongs to SSNIT. And there have been questions in the past as to how productive these investments have been. If SSNIT is selling off these hotels and is saying that it is because these hotels are operating at losses, they are not making any good returns, and we, considering and knowing that it's our monies that have gone into the building of these hotels, you don't think we have a say in the sale? And what we are saying is that don't sell it off. Just like Labadi Beach Hotel has had us turn around just by changing the management. Let's look at the management of these other hotels and put in systems that will help them to revamp their operations, be innovative in terms of the services they provide and all of that, so that we can regain the money that we need. So we don't think that it is just enough for SSNIT to say that they are selling off the hotels or selling its share. That is not the case.
Now, in the last hour, Rock City Hotel has withdrawn its controversial bid to purchase 60% of SSNIT's stake in the 4 SSNIT hotels. The statement from Rock City reads there on your screen. And it said, at all material times, we believed that we had participated in an internationally competitive bid, and we're happy to have learned of our success, having edged out the 15 other organizations that participated in the process. It therefore came as a total surprise to us that some of your stakeholders have raised concerns about your decision to seek strategic partners for these hotels. It goes on to say, we have also taken note of ongoing media discussions on your decision to seek strategic investors for these hotels. And we have also taken a note of your recent media engagement and press statement ostensibly defending your decision to seek to a strategic investor. Then it goes on to say that flowing from all the commentary monitored and the undue negativity that has attended this commentary, we feel you have not done enough to engage all your stakeholders, leading to perceptions that we don't want to associate with our brand. And we believe that such negativity is not only injurious to our brand, but also jeopardizes the success of the investment we intend to make in these hotels. Therefore, we are writing to inform you of our decision to withdraw our bid and discontinue our pursuit of this investment opportunity. Finally, in the interest of accountability and transparency, we consent to you releasing all or whatever part of our bid document for public scrutiny or public sale if it should become necessary. We wish you continued success in your endeavors. So that's the statement from the Rock City Hotel. Abdullah Mashoud is the Executive Director for Africa Center for Retirement Research and Pensions. He joins us live on Zoom. Grateful for your time, sir. What's your reading of Labour's latest decision on this matter?
And thank you to you. Thank you for having me. The responsibility of organized labor to the members that they lead is clear. In fact, they have the core duty to protect the social and economic interests of workers in Ghana. And the case at hand is just one of the instances where they have been called to duty. And their letter was very clear, as you have just read. The sale of the SSNIT Hotel is not in the best interest of contributors and pensioners. And that is a fact, at least from a social security research point of view. And government need to listen to the stakeholders. Now, despite this position being echoed and re-echoed, we heard 4 days ago the Director General given a well-crafted rendition of justifying why the hotels need to be sold. Look, there is the need for us to take a retrospective look at what is happening in the pension space. The policy issues in the pension space in Ghana is more serious than we know.
Okay.
I sincerely think it is time to hold a national pension policy dialogue which seeks to bring together all the stakeholders so that we can discuss how pensions are administered and governed in this country. There are issues with the implementation of the Act 766 and obvious gaps in the law and the legislative instrument. Those need to be reviewed and fixed.
All right.
Again, it is time for us to focus the lenses on the MPRA. Of course, they issued a letter and we don't know what happened, what they actually did. Then all of a sudden they come back indicating that they have cleared SSNIT to go ahead and give out their hotels. If we continue to see MPRA as an elephant in the room, then our pensioners and contributors will continue to suffer, and we are going to have a hell of a difficulty really meeting the policy objective as far as social security is concerned.
So what do you make of Rock City's withdrawal of its bid? Should that end the matter, or you expect that government should come clear with its position on this sale issue?
You see, when you take a broader look at how pension assets are invested across the world and best practices and standards, and even when you analyze technical investment risk level and return level, this particular transaction is going to introduce a lot of risk to the existing portfolio mix. And that position has been made very, very, very clear. And I believe it is based on all this analysis that organized labor is indicating that, look, this is not in the best interest of the Ghanaian worker. So going, whether Rock City or X or Z, it is time for us to just say that, look, let's delete this particular transaction from the books. It's not a question of Rock City, but we have to broaden the discussion and say, look, we are, as the statement has indicated, we are saying this one should go off the books completely.
All right. Thank you so much, Mashoud, for speaking to us here on Joy News Prime. Now, away from the story, the minority in Parliament have blocked the laying of the much criticized lithium mining agreement between the government of Ghana and Barai DV This comes on a day Parliament has struggled to have the required number to sit after the NDC MPs accused the NPP colleagues of abandoning the House and following Dr. Bawumia to campaign. There's more in the following report.
This has been a Parliament struggling to do business, a Parliament struggling to get all members of Parliament to come to the floor to work. In fact, since Parliament resumed in June, hardly have there been up to 100 members of Parliament on the floor of the House, prompting the minority to always raise matters of quorum. Today, there was the advice from the minority that from next week, if the NPP MPs do not turn up to work, they will start raising matters of quorum every time to frustrate government business, warning that NPP MPs should take their parliamentary business serious and not go about following their presidential candidate to campaign.
As I speak to you, flag bearer is in north, running mate is in west, in the south. You are campaigning. The MPs are following you. Instead of coming to sit here to do government work, meanwhile you still have 4 months, 1 week to be in government. Who should do that work? You are thinking of breaking the 8 and not solving the problems. Mr. Speaker, this is serious. The flag bearer, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, must release the MPs to come to Parliament and work. The running mate, Dr. Metopoku Prempeh, must release the MPs to come and work. Other than that, we will invoke Article 102 and 104.
Well, it appears the minority are not even waiting to the next week warning that they did issue. From today, they've started blocking certain key business. And in fact, the chief whip on the minority side alerted the House to the fact that the government side wanted to lay the lithium mining agreement on the floor of the House, warning that that will not be countenanced.
In fact, at conclave, as leadership, it was agreed that we try to veer away from controversial areas today. Mr. Speaker, as we see, and that was agreed upon. As we sit here, there is an order from the majority chief that they should bring other people addendum for our year bauxite and lithium agreement to be laid illegally when we don't have even the numbers to constitute business. That will not be correlated. The Constitution says Article 102, we need 91 before we can proceed.
Honorable member.
We need 91 before we can proceed.
Honorable member.
No other business will be agreed
Honorable.
upon. This was agreed upon. The people are demonstrating, CSOs are demonstrating. Parliament cannot go on without illegality. You don't have the numbers. We will not agree. We don't have the numbers. Mr. Speaker, we will not control that. Speaker, I take a strong exception.
After back and forth and MPs raising matters of quorum, the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin himself, took the chair and had an advice to the government side, urging them to take their parliamentary business seriously and attend. He said, per his observation, it is clear that more NDC MPs attend sitting than NPP MPs.
Well, this one is a hung parliament. By any time I look at your back, your able supporters are not there. And then you are facing a rather populous minority. That doesn't augur well for the government. And I think you have to tell your colleagues, because I always see those who attend. But the majority of them, we just see the seats. That's not correct.
Parliament needs at least 93 MPs to form quorum to transact business. And when they have to take decisions, there has to be at least half of all MPs available on the floor to do that. Parliament hasn't had that, but they've quite progressed to do business since then. But it appears the minority now are sending the signals that that will no longer be the order of business. And they are going to insist that the NPP MPs must prioritize government business and come to Parliament to work. Reporting for Joy News, Kweku Asante, Parliament House, Accra.
Now, the West African Examinations Council has handed over 31 persons who were involved in various examination infractions across the country to the Ghana Police Service to be prosecuted. This year's BEC, even though was largely smooth, reports of the exams malpractices threatened to mar the exercise. Public Relations Officer of WAEC, John Kapi, says that the council will consider adopting a different approach in hiring invigilators in future. Before we listen to him shortly, first, here is our report on the last day of this year's BEC. Semefa Besu, Rejoice report.
The Basic Education Certificate examination concluded today for the majority of 560,000 candidates, wrapping up a week marred by various examination malpractice. At least 18 invigilators were arrested in different regions for aiding candidates and breaking exam rules. Despite the setbacks, most students completed their final papers. In the Greater Accra region, some students shared their experiences and expressed joy.
Well, I thought it was going to be difficult. The way my sister have been saying, and the BEC, when the invigilator comes to stand at the place where you are writing, you shouldn't be shivering or you shouldn't feel anywhere. The police will come around. When you do something, they will cancel your paper. So I thought the BEC is like a whole lot. The questions was simple. It was better than the mocks we have been writing. The one that was easy for me was RME, social, and English, somehow science. But as for the maths, I hate maths, so I can never go for maths. I feel excited because out of this Form 3 things, early morning, wake up, come to school 5:30, close 5:30, go home, all this, come on, hurry up and come and sit down and learn, don't do this. I'm just tired.
I feel so excited and I'm happy because whenever, I want to make my mom proud, so I'm very happy. It's very cool. When you learn, it will flow for you very well, yeah. But if you don't learn, that's when you find it difficult to answer some of the questions.
I feel happy. It was not that difficult. Only the maths. What
happened to the maths?
The time was not enough.
The exam, it was manageable. Yes, it went well. But sometimes when you enter the exam room, you have a little fear.
Additionally, several supervisors and invigilators described the examination as successful.
Well, Clinton Ibo has the reaction from the Ashanti region.
19,000 schools are participating in the Basic Education Certificate examination across the country. On the final day of the BEC, the feeling radiating from candidates is filled with smiles and hope for a brighter academic future. Completing 10 academic courses, the students grasp with relief. Candidates in the Ashanti region are overjoyed to debunk misconceptions about the examination. These students from Apiedu RCJHS, Nana Kwenu Memorial School, and Christian Advantage Preparatory School wrote their papers at the KNUST Center. They described the examination as a reflection of their studies, indicating their positive outlook in their educational ladder.
And it was cool. Most of the things that we learned came, and we are preparing for the next paper. I'm excited because I'm hoping for the best, and I know that I'll get a good aggregate for my parents and myself to move to the next level, which is the senior high school.
Which senior high school are you hoping for?
That's my first choice, which is in Lulu.
The beginning was somehow, I was scared and thinking maybe I would fail or something. But when I got there, I realized, oh, that's not what was in front of me. Because I realized it was so easy than I was expecting. I've tried all my best. The previous one wasn't difficult, so I'm sure this one won't be difficult too.
I'm happy to write my last paper because today is going to be the last day for me writing BEC, and I don't think I will write again because I'm moving forward.
Because how I thought it's going to be difficult, it's not like that. Yes, and I was learning above what I am supposed to do, but it seems it even went lower.
Meanwhile, an invigilator at the KNUST Exam Center, George Kwesi Buedi, observed the new curriculum presented strong basics to test students' knowledge.
So far, from Monday to today, I think the only thing that has been new to the students is the fact that they are the first batch writing the new curriculum. So with regards to a subject like science, for instance, I think there were some few difficulties that they encountered. But so far, after the paper, a lot of them were jubilating that at least they were able to write the papers. And I think the This morning to French, there were some few things which, of course, they used not to witness, but after everything, they were able to deal with it. WAEC already has its rules and regulations, so as invigilator, you are supposed to go by whatever rules and regulations that they have tabled. So, for instance, you need to check the students, make sure that there is no foreign material on them, which maybe when WAEC finds out, it will mar their exams. So then also we make sure that whatever the students need, we provide for them. For instance, before they enter the exams, for every exam material that they need to go in with it, so that whatever they need to achieve as so far as the exams is concerned comes to pass. Yeah.
Reporting for Joy News, my name is Clinton Yabwa.
Now, Public Relations Officer of WAEC, John Kapi, has been interacting with my colleague, Richard Kojonyako.
In total, we have 19 invigilators, and so 17 invigilators, 2 assistant supervisors. We also have about 12 teachers. Now, these were not directly involved with the examination, but they were found, especially about 8, 4 were found in a bus, trying to solve the science questions, and then probably sent to their candidates examination hall. They were apprehended. We had another 4 who were in, unfortunately, a church building, answering the mathematics questions and ready to send them to the candidates. They were also apprehended. We had another 3 who were also on a school bus, who were, answering questions to send to the candidates. So these are the areas where we had teachers who were not directly involved with the examination, but who attempted, to assist the candidates.
Where do they get these questions? Do they get them beforehand from your outfit, or it is when the questions are brought to the centers?
We suspect that they got these questions after the examination was started, because there's one particular teacher whose phone was seized, and we noticed that he had a WhatsApp platform. And when we checked on the platform, we realized that he had other teachers on it. And that's how we traced and got those 3 who were on a bus who were answering questions. We'll be monitoring all the social media platforms, areas where we suspect that they will post questions. There were no questions there. The only ones that we saw were posted on WhatsApp, and on WhatsApp, this was mostly around 9:10, 9:15, thereabouts. So that is when the examination would have actively or effectively started.
This is still the Joy News Prime with me, Carlos Caloni. We'll take a short break. We'll return with more. Please stay. Welcome back, and thank you so much for staying with us. Let's now take you to the Ashanti region, where a couple that lost their 10-day-old baby during a male circumcision procedure at the KNUST hospital in Kumasi is yet to receive compensation from the university authorities 1 year after the incident. Faraj Mohammed, who was sent to the facility for a male circumcision procedure, died moments after allegedly suffering cardiac arrest during the process. But his parents said though authorities of KNUST pleaded for an out-of-court settlement, no compensation has been paid yet. My colleague Ohimi Tewia of our help desk reports.
Mohammed Jamal and Alimatu Adams, a private security officer and a fashion designer respectively, took their son to the KNUST hospital for a simple procedure, male circumcision, on April 3, 2023. Faraj Mohammed was received by a nurse who took him to the theater for the procedure on the day of the incident. The wild cry of the baby was heard for the last time by the parents, who were seated in the waiting area of the theater. Few moments later, some senior nurses and doctors were seen rushing into the theater, a development that made the parents distraught. A patient-centered group, Advocacy for Medical Malpractice Victims, on behalf of the parents, filed a suit at the Kumasi High Court demanding damages in compensation. But the authorities of Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology pleaded for an out-of-court settlement. It then set up a 6-man committee chaired by Professor Imoro Brahima, a former provost of the College of Humanities, to look into the issue. It's been months since an agreement was reached with the parents.
Amra asamnesi na edeba mfrememuno. University to Bofo Maneba Fie ene ebusuane behia.
Following the media reports, a delegation from KNUST visited us at home for the first time. KNUST then admitted responsibility for our son's death. They pleaded for an out-of-court settlement and we accepted their offer. The group, which included a few Muslim academics, assured us they would investigate the matter and compensate us fairly. Later on, we found out that KNUST had set up a committee. After a discussion with our lawyers, a compensation plan was negotiated. We accepted the figure but never heard from them again.
Emaya ka asem no esi ginaye se ombe patayin emaya je penie wo empata no ho efre ho no yante omonka biem.
But the Jamals say they are being constantly reminded of the death of the baby following the failure of KNUST to pay compensation. Mohammed Jamal feels disrespected by the authorities at KNUST.
Akwanya KNUST ede meneme busuya faso no meka se ese enni manum ne nti eno mo de me fasa akwan no so. I
am not pleased with how KNUST treated my family. We are treated in this manner since they believe we are toothless. Why would you form a committee, dispatch a delegation, reach a resolution, and then do nothing? Since the matter is still unresolved, we are frequently reminded of the passing of our only male child.
Ane yaudi a mama yekum ane nkomona omoni ebedi a omondisa omoboshe ne so no ama abrebia de bia abayetrim a yedi ho abobo.
Executive Director of the Advocacy for Medical Malpractice Victims, Kwame Brobe Apia, says the posture of the university authorities explains the widespread disrespect of clients by health service providers across the country.
Nothing would be able to compensate for the loss of a human being. We are talking about fair and adequate compensation in terms of the fact that at least they would have something to console their souls for having gone through such a traumatic experience, especially when the suspicion is that the child died out of the negligence of somebody, allegedly. We feel that once we had agreed mutually to bring closure to this matter, they should have by now, done the needful.
Meanwhile, the chairman of the KNUST committee, Professor Imoro Brahima, says the university cannot be held accountable for failing to reach an agreement with the baby's family. According to him, lawyers of the family have turned down a compensation package proposed by the university, a development the vice-chancellor has been made aware of. From Kumasi, for Joy News, Oyeminteria reporting.
Now, 2023 defending champions of Volta and OT, Maulisco is just 2 shots away from lifting the zonal championship trophy for the second time. The Mauli emerged champions from their quarter-final fixture against Anglo SHS Chito and St. Mary's Seminary SHS with 41 points. But ahead of their zonal semi-final, they have vowed to settle a personal score with Prempeh at the CS Nationals. There's more in the following report.
Mauli School there in Ho, they have won their contest from the quarterfinals, qualifying into the semi-finals of the Volta OT Regional Championship or Zonal Championship. They defeated 3 other schools with 41 points to qualify into the semi-final. Remember, they were seeded schools and so they did not take part in the regional championship. And they are the defending champions for the zonal trophy. They won in 2023 ahead of Kita as well as Sunrise. Congratulations, guys.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I mean, you are here to defend your title. Is this the stepping stone to doing that?
There's more of the stepping stone for Maoli School. There's an encouraging performance from our boys. At first, we weren't expecting this because our previous friendly contests weren't on a silver platter. But what our boys have shown today, they've done really well. They've done really well.
What is it about Prempeh for you?
Oh yes, Prempeh has defeated us 2 times in a row consecutively, and this year they lost their regional championship to Kumasi High School. Tell them that we are coming. We are coming with confidence. Tell them. And last year they were in the semi-finals and lost to Opokuwari School, their arch rivals. Maoli School, our boys were just too fast. It was just some hitches.
They were too fast and long.
They were just ringing fast in the speed race, you understand? This year, we have gone back to do our homeworks. And when we step down onto the stage, it's going to be a demolition.
And so, it's going to be a demolition. Let me finish with you with a proper message to the other Volta schools that you'll be meeting in the semi-finals. Which schools are you looking forward to meeting in the semi-finals?
Right now, we are looking forward to meet Ketasco in the semi-final. For them, we are the champions.
Why Ketasco?
Oh, in Volta, they claim they are the leading because they have reached finals. But right now, we are telling them this year, we are taking the cup to Maoli School. The championship is coming to us.
What's the message to the top schools coming all across the country into the national?
As you know, Maoli School is also a top school, right? So we are not afraid of anything. No school is better than us. It's just show working. Show working. Not too much.
You haven't showed working over the year.
We are going to show working this year. As my friend mentioned earlier, we've done our homeworks and we are coming back stronger. Okay, we are coming. Show working. Show working. Prempeh this year, I'm telling you this year, Prempeh this year, we are coming. We are coming.
What are you doing today?
Coming.
What are you doing?
We are going to demolish them. We are going to demolish them.
Yes. Are you sure about that?
90-point difference. I'm ain't joking right now. I'm not joking.
90 points.
Is that 90 point difference? 90 point difference. Thank you very much.
Well, it's time for Showbiz, and the queen of Showbiz here at Joy News joins me. Hi.
Hello to you. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you.
I see you once in a while. That's good. I like it. Let's talk about the movie industry. You know Ajetian, and he was on Daybreak Hits, I think, yesterday, and he's been talking about the movie industry. I mean, what else would he talk about? He spoke about the fact that during his time when he started off as
Pusha days.
Pusha days, things have changed, you know, over the years for the movie industry as a whole, and he's entreating a lot of all Ghanaians or everybody who
want to enter that space.
And also the people who watch movies, the consumers of movies, should employ the cinema day style. You can watch the movies on Netflix. You can do all of those things on social media, but let's go to the cinemas.
I think that for the most part, people who really are serious with their craft and want to always do something new, it's made us stand on our toes, if you will. It's kept us like you're from a different era. This is a new the game changer. You have to stay relevant, and that means that you don't shut out. You have to find out what is this new age, and then how do you how is your relevance seen? And so we've had to work harder because these young people are in a fast pace and you need to catch up. How do you stay relevant, connect with these people, the things that they are doing? I didn't even think that I would be on Instagram. When it came on, I was one of the guys who were like, Charlie, this thing is for young people, you know, but I realized I was losing out. And if I wanted that wider reach as well, I needed to be on Instagram and connect with the young people, because the young people who didn't know Pusha, and at least fortunately, the extension of Pusha was YOLO. And so, but I still needed to connect with them. And so I found myself on Instagram. I'm now on TikTok even. You know,
you're on TikTok now.
You know,
wow.
and I'm asking for help to find out how I can thrive there. It's
great. So even some of us, we don't know how to use it.
So you need to be abreast with the change, and so that we're not suddenly realize that we're left behind and people will take over. Yeah.
Has some of these changes that we're talking about, has it affected the movie space?
Well, traditional, cinema culture has been affected in a way, but I think that shouldn't be the case, because if you look at even the Western world, where internet is just cocoa, if you will, compared to us, and they have movies on the palm of their hands, and the tradition of cinema culture is still going strong, and so we don't have any excuse. I think that there are things that we haven't really engaged with, and we haven't really found out why we're losing that to people just using the phones and not coming to the cinema as you would in the West, and those are the things that we need to investigate, so that we still, because there are people who, no matter what, we still want to go to the movies, like me, just the fact that you're having some kind of a population watching it with other people, the comments that come in, the unison, it's an experience that you can never, and that's why people still go to the stadium.
Well, Ajitianan right there. Let me tell you about the biggest wedding in the world.
Like now, the biggest.
Happening actually today, which is a Friday. So Anat Ambani, the youngest Africa's remark, that performance right there.
That's beautiful. How long do you think your own wedding is going to last? A week? A year? 6 months? Maybe a week.
No, it just take 2 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
2 days. 2 days?
2 days is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, we can manage 2 days.
Anyway, that's okay.
That'll be all for this evening's news. We're grateful that you could join us. Please log on to myjawline.com for all the news. Thank you so much, Carlos.
All right.
For having me on the show.
Great. Thank you for watching too. Bye-bye.
Mr. Baka is up next.